Okay, well, we'll go ahead and go through the paper real quick while everybody's joining us. And so the paper collection is Fishtails by Becky Fleck, and this is a really super cute, um, obviously sea themed. I apologize, my computer just loves coming up with updates while I'm live. I don't know why. Okay. Anyway, so Georgia, I used to live in Atlanta. Oh my gosh, I loved it there. So the paper collection, you get 12 sheets of 12 by 12 double-sided designer cardstock and then one sheet of 12 by 12 stickers. So let's go ahead and get on into this and look at this real quick because it's just so cute. This one is called Splash Zone, and I love it because it looks like it has little bubbles on there. So if you use a lot of this Nuvo drops, I actually use this on one of my pieces, which you'll see in just a little bit, because I love how it can make the bubbles look like water bubbles. So that would be really fun. And on the opposite side, you have your 3x4 ephemera cards. I love this one. You light up my world, Splash Zone, Showtime, A Day at the Aquarium. So this is perfect for swimming lessons. It could be perfect for going to the aquarium or the zoo or anything like that. So that would be really fun. Then we have the portholes, and I love how they have the little sea animals inside there. So cute. And on this side, this has like your little ocean waves. Love that. This one's called Aquarium, and of course you have your starfish, your seahorses, your shells, all sorts of little cute stuff in there. And then on this side, you have your stripes. And then this one is called Under the Sea. And of course, this is our little fishes and stuff. And I love the jellyfish. Like you have two different jellyfish. Or maybe that's a squid. I don't know. That looks like an octopus for sure. But anyway, I just love all the little sea life. I love the little blowfish. That's cute. And then we have our mermaid tail on the back here. So I love that. And then right here, this one's called Showtime. And this one has your waves. And then on the back here, you have your 4x6 cards. So the star of the show. So if you go to SeaWorld, I know a lot of states have SeaWorld. Make a wish on a starfish. You're totally awesome. Aquarium Adventures. I know Georgia has a big aquarium, which I never got to see it. So one day I hope to go there. Just love, love, love this whole collection. Of course, we have Shark for Shark Week, and that's exactly what this page is called. And then on the opposite side, we have these nautical dots, and I love all the colors in here. Very, very nautical colors for sure. And then again, here's the sticker sheet. You have Go with the Flow, Crabby Bit Cute, What a Whale of a Day. Our little whale making waves. Again, we have sticker portholes. We have Fun, Splash, Wet, Shark, Showtime, Aquarium, and Under the Sea. And of course, Ticket for a Day of Fun, and Kiss Me. So stinking cute. Love, love, love. And then let me show you real quick. I know you all have already seen the book, but here's my little porthole that I made, and I'm going to show you how to make that today. And of course, the little mini album itself. It has chipboards and all sorts of good fun stuff. Let me just show you one of the pages. So in the middle, you're going to have your mats, and this is a double-sided mat. And then we have some of the chipboards, and then inside you have another little pocket. So you can put double photos there. You can put photos here. And then if you have any little tickets or any sort of little ephemera pieces, you can put them here. And then on the opposite side, you have 4 photos. So you live closer to Chattanooga than Atlanta. Oh, Chattanooga has a good aquarium. Well, I'll definitely have to check that out. On the back side, I did a little, this is actually a frame from the die cut ephemera. And I just popped up a little sticker starfish. And then again, I used another one of the stickers and just backed it up with paper so that I could use it as a little tuck spot. But anyway, all the pages are identical to make this tutorial very easy for you. And I hope y'all like how it turned out. So since this is going to be a long tutorial, well, let me show you one more thing real quick because I just have to. So this kit comes with etched metal dies. You have the stickers that you can cut out the metal dies with. That's perfect because I hate fussy cutting, but you know, we all have to do it sometimes. Some people love it. I'm very impatient and I have no patience to cut out little things. So I definitely love to get the dies. Then we have our micro chipboard shapes, and you get 2 sides of those, okay? And I've already, as you can see, I've already used some of them. And then I love the little puffy stickers. I love how these have made a comeback. They're so fun. And then, of course, we have the shark stamps and also the dies that go with it. Now, I don't have the stamps here because they already sold out, but they said they're getting more in, so they're going to send me some. So I'm so excited about that. And then we have the cardstock ephemera, which they probably actually already have the stamps in because they sent me this a week ago. So I'll definitely be getting that soon. But I love this. You're a star with a starfish, under the sea, pinch me, fish, a fun day with fish, under the world, a world under the sea. I can't talk today. A day at the aquarium, wet fun and splash. So anyway, lots and lots of cute goodies. Love, love, love. And if I miss any of your questions, I do apologize. Once we are done with this, I will go ahead and go through there and answer as many questions as I possibly can. There is a written PDF for this that I've already been working on, so I should have that done by the end of today. And as soon as we're done with this video, I will be saving it and then uploading it onto PhotoPlay's YouTube channel. Okay, so definitely, if you haven't joined them, check it out. So let's go ahead and get started with making the pages first, okay? Because that's probably going to be the part that takes the longest, all right? So first of all, you're going to need 5 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper, okay? And then since we're already on the 11-inch side, we'll go ahead and I'll tell you the scores for that. On the 11-inch side, you're going to score at 4 inches and then 8 inches, okay? And then at 10.5 inches, well, actually, I apologize. We can't even do that yet. Hold on. Okay. On the 8.5 inch side, you're going to score in the center at 4 1/4. Okay. Then I apologize. Turn it to the left, and you're going to go back to your 11-inch side. You're going to score at 4 inches, 8 inches, and then on the 10.5 inch, you're going to go just to that first score line right here, okay? And then we're going to get out our cutting board. This is always fun. And we're going to cut on our score lines. But let me show you actually with a pen. This might be easier. I thought I had a little marker over here. Oh, I guess I did not. Let me grab this little pen real quick. Okay. Let me draw this out for you real quick. That way it makes sense. My marker would have done a lot better than this hot mess. Oh, y'all are going to have to bear with me today. I apologize. We're almost to Easter, so I feel like I'm already in Easter mode. Spokane, Washington, I love it. Eventually, I'm going to get out further than the furthest west I've ever been is Colorado. So I'm hoping to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little sliver out from here to here and from here to here. All right. I could just do a line, you know, and cut, but actually I want to cut out my actual little score line that I made, okay? So it's going to be about, a 1/16 of an inch. Pretty much a hair. Okay? Let me get out my little scissors here. And I missed a little bit, so I'm going to make sure I cut all of that out, okay? So you're going to go to that first score line. And then I'm going to do the same exact thing on the top. And I'm going to go to this score line right here. Okay. So I'm just going to take out a little sliver. And like I said, don't worry about the measurements. All of this is going to be on a PDF for you, okay? And then we're going to cut out this little 1/2 inch right here. Okay. Just up to my cut line, all right? So now at this point, oh, you're welcome, Debbie. Okay, so at this point, you're now going to have these kind of two little flappies here and then two flappies here, one with a short end and one with a long end, okay? So here's the deal. We're going to go ahead and fold this, but the way I want you to fold it is to the left. Well, no. Yes, okay. I'm sorry, to the right. Okay? And then I want you to go ahead and burnish it in right there on that score line, and then you're going to flip it over, okay? So now you're not going to see that little flap that's missing, okay? You're going to push this one up, down at the bottom, and you're going to burnish it in. There's my little hair that I didn't get to cut off, okay? Sorry, guys. Let me get that out of the way. Okay. And then with our second piece, you're actually going to fold it right on top, okay? Make sure this is straight, guys, okay? All right. I know this, I don't know why it's doing that, but it needs to be straight. And don't worry about it because you can mold your paper to what you need, all right? So we're going to burnish that in, and then our top piece is going to come down like this, okay? Then we're going to flip it over, and we're going to push this one down as well. Now for me, I like to go ahead and round my corners. You don't have to do that. So I'm going to round the corners on my little flaps here. All right. Okay, so I'm done with that. Then I'm going to grab my We Are Memory Keeper sponge. This is not necessary, but if you want to have a little divot in the middle of your first pocket, which is your back pocket, you're going to go ahead and flip it over, and in between the, I'm sorry, not in between, at the 2 1/8 inch line right here, you're gonna punch, okay? And then there, now we have our little divot, okay? Then I'm gonna grab my favorite graph ruler here, okay? And from the very bottom of here, I'm gonna measure up a 1/2 inch. Oops. Get that out of the way, okay? I'm just going to line it up, and this helps me keep this straight, okay? I'm going to go ahead and fold this little corner over, okay? And burnish it in. And you know what? I got to do something real quick because I can still see my little mark there from my pen. If I had my pencil, I would have been able to erase that, but I'm just going to cut that little sliver off, okay? Okay, so at this point, it's going to look something like this, all right? So we have our little divot, and if you want to go ahead and ink all your pieces, that's perfect. And I know you're kind of wondering, okay, how is this going to go on my piece right here? You know, for my hinge, I'll show you that in just a couple of minutes. But in the meantime, I want to go ahead and give you the measurements for your pattern paper, okay? And I've already pre-patterned papered some of mine already just to get things going, okay? Now, for your flaps, you're going to need 20 of these, okay? And what I mean is you're going to have 2 here, 2 here, and then of course you're going to have 1 here, and I'm sorry, 1 here. So that makes 4 for each signature, okay? And, oh yeah, let me start with this one. I went ahead and rounded mine so I wouldn't forget. These are going to be 20 at 4 1/8 by 3 7/8. So 4 1/8 inch long, or wide, shall I say, and 3 7/8 inch long, all right? Let me grab my art glitter glue. Hi, Lee. Hi, Linda. Then we're going to go ahead and get these on here. Alrighty. Just going to center this on my paper and then burnish it in. And wipe off any excess glue, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and do my inside here. And then I'm going to flip it over and go ahead and do it on this side as well. And I don't mean 4, guys. I apologize. You're going to need 6. But if you don't want to use pattern paper for this piece that I'm about to show you, this one right here, you can just go ahead and put your photo right on there. That's completely up to you, or you can use solid colored cardstock that kind of coordinates. And I believe this collection does come with a set of solid colors as well. Okay, so I'm going to flip it back over to this side. And for my pattern paper for these little pockets right here, your first one is going to be for your notch. It's going to be 4 1/8 by 2 7/8, and you will need 5 of those for each of the 5 signatures, okay? Now, I could go ahead and tell you what the exact measurement for the center is, but it's never exactly accurate, so I started doing this. I know it seems crazy, but each time I put in a notch, for some reason, when I line it up, it never lines up perfectly. So what I do is I make a little pen mark or pencil mark right where that little notch is, okay? Down at the bottom. And then I grab my punch board again. And of course I have my little line here where I know my center is. All right. And then I punch. I hope that makes sense, because it just never ends up the same, no matter how many times I do it. And see, now it's perfectly in the center. Hi, Susan. Hi, Amy. This is Art Glitter Glue Designer Dries Clear Glue. And the company is called Art Glitter, and you can actually order it at their store online. Just going to press this down. I really like to burnish it in and then wipe away my excess. And then for your fold over pocket, this is going to be a little bit different than what you would normally do. Okay, you're going to need 5 of these, and they're going to be 4 1/8 by 2 3/8. So again, 4 1/8 inch long by 2 3/8 inch in height. All right. Now, I want you to kind of center it here. I know this is really bizarre, but this is how I get it to work just right for my little triangle, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, and where I see my little score line, I'm going to make a little mark here and down here at the bottom, okay? I'm going to come grab my cutter. You could use scissors if you want to, but I can't cut straight. So I always rely on my board. I just line up my lines and then cut. And then this time with my scissors, I am going to actually take off a teeny little sliver, about a 1/16 of an inch. All right, such a tiny little hair. grab my glue. Still a bad connection? Is anyone else having a bad connection, guys, or is it me? I don't know. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Ginger. And then we're just going to line this up here and burnish that in. Now, this is the fun part. I want you to grab your We Are Memory Keepers punch. And there's always a large eyelet hole punch or hole punch, and then there's a smaller one. Okay, for this particular project, I have smaller eyelets. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and grab a smaller one. But before you do that, I want you to glue this down, your little triangle. That way you're not doing too many hole punches, okay? And just burnish that in. Okay. And by the way, this is actually a project that I got from Ginger. Now, if you check out Ginger's YouTube channel, Ginger, if you want to put your link, you can. This is kind of like from her Coffee Break album. And if you ever see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. I just made a smaller version of it, okay? Because I'll be honest with you, I didn't have any 12 by 12 paper that was solid color cardstock, so I used the 8.5 by 11 just to make it easier on me. But I really loved her project, and I thought that I would pretty much make something very similar to it. So with this little fold over right here, just go straight down in the center, and I did actually push my hole punch all the way to basically the end. Maybe I'm up, so here's the end at 1 inch. So I'm going to kick it up 2 notches, okay, from the very end. Go straight in the middle there, just like so, and punch. And so now I have my little eyelet hole right in the center there, okay? And then I'm just going to burnish that on in there. That's the word you want to call it. Okay, so now I have my little pocket pages formed, okay? Now what we want to do is get out some of our extra paper, shall I say. You know, the pieces you want to throw away and you don't really use or haven't used for your paper. I just grabbed some little extra paper here because I need to make my pockets, okay? So let me see what this is. This pocket is 3 inches, so I need to make this 3 inches long, okay? And then I'm going to make it 1 inch. I'm going to make 2 of these right here. 2 little flaps. Okay? And then I need 1 for this bottom pocket because I like to leave this portion open. This one is 2 1/4 inches. So I'm going to measure. Is that 2? I think it's a little bit longer. Hold on. No, basically 2 1/4. I apologize. 2 1/4 by 1 inch. And it looks like I'm going to have to get out another piece. Here we go. And go ahead and cut my 1 inch. By 2 1/4. Okay. Let me toss all those out. And then on my scoreboard, I'm going to score on the long side, or the short side, excuse me, at 1/2 inch. Okay. So on my 1 inch side, score at 1/2 inch. Okay. I'm going to save that for my other ones. Okay, now I'm going to burnish these. Fold them over and burnish. All right. Now, just to make sure, I'm going to cut off about a 1/16 of an inch. Just so that they don't fold onto each other when I glue it down, okay? Gotta leave a little hair of room right there at the bottom, but at the top, you can line it right up there, okay? Oh, thank you, Ginger. This was totally your project. I just made it smaller. That's all. Another 1/16 of an inch. And then line it up and burnish it in. Okay. Now, you guys want to make sure you wipe off that excess glue, because if you don't, you're going to have problems with your pockets, okay? They're going to be stuck pockets. That's no good. Okay. So I'm just going to glue these on here and burnish it in. And so now I have my little pocket there. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my other little piece right here. Oh, I love it. Well, you guys know that I love anything that has to do with the ocean or sea life. I love, love, love it. As long as it's nautical or coastal, I'm on it. Okay. And those are the only books that I don't sell. I keep them for myself. And then I'm just going to go ahead and glue this little pocket down. All right, so now you're going to have basically 5 signatures, all identical to this. Okay, so that makes this pretty easy to do. All right, so I've already got my 5 here. Now, just so that I don't forget, I want to go ahead and give you the measurements for your pockets, okay? And so you have your center pocket. You're going to need, and that's your top loading pocket, okay? You're going to need 5 pieces of solid colored cardstock that are going to be 3 3/4 inches by 4 inches long, okay? And then for your pattern paper that's going to go on top, okay, you're going to need 10 at 3 5/8 by 3 7/8, okay? And I went ahead and rounded my corners already. I'm going to make sure I keep my waves upside up. Although actually, I don't think it really matters because this is striped paper, so for my other one. But that's one thing you might want to consider. Make sure you keep your directional paper on the right side. I don't know how many times I've made a mistake and put something upside down. No, in fact, oh no, okay, I'll keep the stripes. So we'll just call this a large mat, okay? And then for your smaller mat, you're going to need 5 sheets of solid color cardstock at 3 3/4. Thank you, Kay. By 3 3/4. And then your pattern paper, what I decided to do on these smaller ones is I decided to have one side just another sheet of color coordinating solid colored cardstock. That is going, or yes, that's going to be 3 5/8 by 3 5/8, and you'll need 10 of those, okay? Or 5 and 5, however you want it. And then I just go ahead and just center it. Oh my goodness, my hands are shaky today. And I only had 2 cups of coffee, guys. Just 2. That's hardly anything in my world. I feel like I can't live unless I've had 4. Okay. And again, keep my mermaid scales lined up there. Okay. So now we have all our mats done, guys. And I mean, this project is going along pretty quickly. Let me get some of these out of the way so I'm not losing my mind. Okay. Let me wipe this off real fast. Okay, so for our binding piece, you are going to need a sheet of solid colored cardstock that's going to be 11 inches by 4 inches, okay? 11 inches by 4 inches. And you're going to score at 1 inch, 1.5, 2 inches, 2.5, 3 inches, 3.5, 4 inches, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5, 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, and then 9, okay? And we may need to trim a little bit of this off, but most likely not, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to get out our glue or score tape or whatever adhesive you want to use. And what I'm going to do is this is actually going to be my back side, okay? I'm going to glue at every inch, okay? So I have my 1 inch, 1/2 inch, and then now I'm going to glue, okay? I'm going to fold this over, burnish it in, and make sure this is lined up because this can go crooked really fast if you don't keep these lined up, all right? And then I'm going to fold it back, all right? So I still have my 1 inch and my 1/2 inch, okay? Then I'm going to skip a half, and then I'm going to glue. And again, I'm going to make sure it's lined up because I don't want it going crazy. And like I said, I like using glue, but score tape is, you know, great too. But for me, I've told people numerous times that living in very humid areas or by the water, because I'm 4 miles from the ocean, and so we got a lot of humidity here constantly. I mean, they think that 45% humidity is nothing. I'm like, in Texas, 45% humidity was humid. I'm just saying. But here in Florida, they don't consider that extremely humid. Okay, and then we're going to skip a 1/2 inch and then go ahead and fold over again. And again, I'm just keeping it lined up. And then fold back. So right now I've got this going pretty good here. And then I've got one more. I don't know why this is going wonky on me, but it is. That's okay. I'm going to fix that. Don't you worry about that, guys. It may look wonky, but I'm telling you, I'm going to fix it, and you'll see how in just a minute. I don't know why. It's insane. Okay. We're going to get our chipboard out now at this point, all right? This may have gotten too wonky that I may have to redo that. But anyway, at this point, you're going to need 2 pieces of chipboard that are going to be 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. You're going to need one, okay, That's going to be 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. Okay, so it's going to go something like this. I know, right? I'm going to make it work, Ginger, because it's frustrating me. I did this last time, and I don't know what it was. It just kept doing it to me. Maybe I should have used tape. Anyway, you're going to need a piece of chipboard again at 3 1/8 by 4 inches. Normally, I don't do this, okay? But for some reason, every time I've made this mini album, it acts crazy, all right? Hold on, I need to glue this down a little bit here. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's what my problem is. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to make it work. I used to do this a long time ago, and then I kind of got myself out of it and just solely used my paper as my hinge, okay? But let's see if we can make this work here. Hold on. Yeah, I got it. Okay. No problem, guys. See, I knew I wasn't delirious. So now I'm going to go ahead and attach this onto this chipboard, okay? And I'm going to have my little wings on the back, all right? Let me grab some double-sided sticky tape. This one is 2 inches long. Okay. Hi, Debbie. Girl, you're in for the fun here. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and put this down here as well. All right. Now I'm just going to add my tape to this one side for now because I want to make sure that I get this on here right. All right, so I'm going to line this up. All right. I'm just going to press down this first 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to stretch this baby out, okay, and wrap it around, all right? Now at this point, I can go ahead and grab my bone folder and start pressing these down, all right? Basically working my binding system here, getting it prepared for when you need to turn the pages, all right? Just keep pressing it down, go back and forth a couple of times, okay? That way your pages don't bust when you want to turn them, all right? I'm gonna go that way and then this way. All right? And then now we can go ahead and add our glue to the back, all right? Or whatever. If you want to use more tape, you can do that too. Whoops. So I guess if you really want this to turn out right, you might want to use score tape. Spare yourself the agony, okay? All right, and burnish it in. All right. So now we have that ready. Oh my gosh, guys, that was a workout. Anyway, I was stressing. Okay, now we can go ahead and start working on putting our album cover together, all right? Okay, let me move this out of the way real fast. And constantly have to wipe these now for some odd reason. I think I need to get a new tip. All right, we're going to grab 2 sheets of solid colored cardstock. All right. Let me move this over here. All right. Your first one is going to be 6 7/8, all right, by 11 inches. All right. On your 11-inch side, you're going to score at 1 inch. You're going to turn it counterclockwise back to the 6 7/8 inch side, and you're going to score at 1 inch and 5 7/8. You don't have to do this, but it helps me keep my chips in line and in place, okay? So that's just completely up to you. For your second piece, you're going to need the same 6 7/8 by 11 inches, and you will cut some of this off, all right? But in the meantime, we're just going to stick with status quo. On the 6 7/8 inch side, you're going to score again at 1 inch and 5 7/8, okay? Now we want to marry these together. Hi, Key. So I'm going to use some 1/4 inch score tape, and I'm just going to put it on my first piece that I cut earlier, all right? And I'm going to go over this a little bit. And grab my little, all right? And any excess, you're going to cut that off. Okay, bye, Debbie. Thanks for stopping in. Okay, I'm going to peel this off, and then I'm going to marry these two together. But before I do that, I like to give myself a little wiggle room, and using glue helps me do that. I'm basically using the score tape as a measurement, so I know exactly where to line it up at. All right, I'm going to use my mat here to make sure I'm putting this on straight, all right? And then I'm just going to lie this on top and use my lines here. Make sure they're lined up together, all right? Burnish it in and wipe off any excess glue. Now, this is one thing I like to do, all right? I like to make sure that these stay sealed, and I use just a little line of glue and I rub it in with my finger, all right? I'm going to do the same thing on this side as well. All right. Perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to grab my chipboards, all right? And I'm going to add my tape to these as well. You guys know I just lost my pin. Okay. Let me move this out of the way for just a moment. And I'm going to go ahead and add my tape to all of these, all right? Only on one side for now. I tell you what, using this larger score tape is amazing. Saves you so much time. All right. And I'm just going to put it to the side for just a moment. All right. And I'm going to keep going. I don't know what that thing is doing. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. My computer keeps doing weird stuff while we're talking. I don't know why. Hopefully y'all can still hear me. All right, burnish that in and tear. So right now I'm going to work on my third piece in just a minute. Let me get these on here so that my stickiness doesn't dry off because I've got my fan running right now, okay? So at this point, I always like to give myself a little wiggle room as always. So I'm going to use a little bit of glue. And since these are the same measurement, I'm not worried about it, all right? And I'm going to use my score lines as my guide and keep it right on the inside of my score line, all right? And center it. And then burnish it in. Okay, wipe off any excess glue and burnish it in on the back side as well. Keep going. And I'm going to put my center on. And I'm going to use my Perfect trimmer to space this out, but you don't really have to use this. You could just get 2 pieces of chipboard and stick it together and then use that as your guide. Okay, lie that down. Okay, and then I'll do my last one. Oh, thank you very much, Stuart. Okay. I'm just going to push my excess back onto the sticky side, okay? And then do my little final piece here. And now I'm going to move this over to the side here. Done with that for the moment. Okay, one little trick I want to tell you. Anytime you are making a mini album and you have to connect 2 pieces of paper together, make sure that this does not end up like, let's say it was here, okay? Then when you fold it over, it's going to crack and it's going to break. So just make sure you have plenty of room in between and that you won't actually be folding on that piece, all right? So I'm just going to go ahead and line this up again. And press it down, okay? Okay, now I can get out my cutting board. And I know I have all this excess piece right here. I'm going to line my chipboard up at the 1-inch line here. So I don't know if you can kind of see that, but I've got it approximately there. Maybe I'm a little off, I don't know. You know, my eyeballs aren't as great as they used to be anymore. I'm just being truthful. And then trim that off. Now, my favorite little tool right here is my Perfect Trim Ruler, and I like to use it at the 0.125, all right? Wait, maybe not. I lied. The 0.25, okay? 0.25. And I'm going to make sure I use that at the 0.25 on all sides. All right. Oh, thank you. Now I'm just going to cut this off. All these 4 little corners here. And this should give me enough space that I can tuck some of this paper back in and my chipboard won't show. All right. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and fold it on all the sides, get it ready so that it's easier for me to do this. And I'm going to get out my score tape again and line that up. All right, and the areas that I don't have the tape on, I'm going to use my glue, okay? Oops. Let me burnish this in a little bit more. All right, I'm going to do this side. What is a little square? This is called the Perfect Trim Ruler, and you can find it at perfecttrimruler.com. I think it's a great little tool. Although I know there's a lot of other companies that have very similar tools. I'm just not aware of all the different companies, but I just like to use it to cut my tape and burnish in all at once. Alrighty. And again, any excess tape, just go ahead and fold it back over, okay? Now I'm going to straighten this up a little bit. There we go. Again, add my tape. And do it on this side as well. I normally don't do it this messy, guys, but you know what? Since I'm live, I feel like I'm under pressure. So now, oops, let me burnish that in some more. I can always tell if it doesn't lift right. Oops. Maybe burnish it in too tight. There we go. Now I can go ahead and add glue on these little corners right here, okay? And I'm going to have to work pretty quickly. And I apologize about my lawn, guys. Honestly, they've been here all day and they wait till the last minute to come out here, okay? So I'm going to just fold these over and I basically push with my fingers as hard as I can to make sure that this folds over on my pieces, all right? I'm going to do the same thing on this side as well. Push there and burnish it in. At the same time, don't wipe off any glue just yet. And I'm going to push in my little corners that I made with my perfect trim ruler, okay? Push them in. And hopefully, if I show you that, you can kind of see. There you go. Hopefully that's a little bit better. All right. And I'm going to do the same on all four sides. Kind of push that in. Jam it in there, guys. Get it. Get her done. Okay. Whoops. And then I can go ahead and fold these over now. And now there's no chipboard showing on my corners, okay? All right, guys, now what else I like to do is I like to take my bone folder and just gently push in my little score line here, okay? And go ahead and fold it, all right? Then open it back up. And now I'm going to put this to the side for just a moment. I'm going to grab my cardstock for this. You're going to need, oops, let me see, one sheet of cardstock that's going to be 11 inches by, is this the right one? Yes, okay. For some reason that doesn't seem right. No, it is. Okay, I apologize. Since our album is 4 3/4 inches, you just want to do it a slight hair shorter, about 1/8 of an inch. So it's going to be 4 5/8 by 11 inches, okay? And we're probably going to need to add a little bit more onto here. And it looks like about 3 inches. And I literally made this 3 1/2 inches, just a hair longer. We're going to have to marry them together. Again, a 4 5/8 by 3 1/2 inches, okay? Let's move this out of the way. Again, I'm going to get out my 1/4 inch score tape. And I'm just going to, oops, boy, was I way off on that one. Let me add a little more at the top. There we go. And again, if you have anything hanging over, just push it back up onto the paper. I'm going to use my little lines here again. And guys, do you know I didn't even notice the whole time that my mat's upside down? Oh my gosh. Okay. That was crazy. Add a hairline of glue. And then line them up. Oops. And burnish it in. Okay. I have a little piece hanging out. Trim that off. Okay. And again, I want to do that little small hairline of glue, okay? And hopefully this isn't, it is. Well, never mind. I'm not going to be able to do it because now my glue is all dried in there. Anyway, now I can line these up, all right? And I'm just going to make a mark on this side about a 1/16 of an inch in, all right? Or an 1/8 of an inch, however you want to do it. So basically, I'm taking off a little more than an inch. I always like to just go ahead and guesstimate, and always guesstimate a little more than less, so I don't have to repeat this process. Perfect. Okay. Now I can grab my score tape again, and I'm going to use it all over the back of this, okay? And 2. And burnish it in. Okay. And I'm going to add one more strip. Well, 2 more. I'm going to fix that little end there. Burnish it in. Let me go ahead and take care of that one little spot I missed. All right. And now I can go ahead and lay this right on the top here. All right. And just center it. Make sure you don't go too little or too much. And burnish that in. And make sure you burnish this one in real good. So it's best to get your big bone folder and really get in there, okay? Now remember, we have our little score lines right here, okay? So I'm going to find my score line. I'm going to lie this down and then gently push this in and fold this up at the same time. And turn it over and do the same thing, because you want to make sure if there's any paper that's bubbling up, you can smooth it out now before it's too late. All right, so I can see my little score line there. Gently rub it in there. Don't do it too hard because you could actually tear the paper. And boom, there you go. And if you need to press any paper down, that's good. So now I have like 0 air bubbles there, which is nice. Make sure you just double check all over it. Look for anything lifting and burnish it in, or any air pockets. All right. Sweet. Okay. So we're moving along, guys. We're going to grab this little piece right here. All right, I want to go ahead and add some score tape to that. All right, and I am going to use a little bit of glue too. All right, again, that way I have room to move it quickly if I need to. Burnish that in. Guys, hopefully the long guys aren't too loud. I apologize. I swear, I'm telling you, they do it on purpose. They've been around all day. Okay. Again, if there's anything hanging over, go ahead and push it up now. See, I can see that there's a lot hanging over. All right. Grab your glue. Okay. And it's okay if you add a little too much. It's all right. It's all good because it's going to come out. All right. I'm going to reline these. And I'm going to pick a spot on here that I can line this up straight. So that way, at least I know I'm straight. I'm going to stand up so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to center this in here, all right? At the best of my abilities. And you can go ahead and burnish it in, all right? If you have any excess glue, just wipe it on off. All right. Looks real good, guys. It's going. I'm so surprised. Okay, so here is where we grab our pages. All right, and I've already got mine in the order that I want them to go in. Well, let me just make sure. Yeah, maybe I'll do it like that. I feel like I've got too many darks. Okay. All right, so now I have them in the order that I want them in, all right? Now, the best thing I can tell you to do is when you're adding these on here, I always like to give about 1/8 of an inch from the actual bottom piece here, you know, is where I would actually put it on here. So I'm going to show you real fast. I'm going to grab my glue. It's probably easier to define it with tape. But like I said, if I use tape, my hinges would fall apart or my pages would just fall right off just because of where I live. Now I have this little pocket right here, okay? And I can just go ahead and slide it on there. And because I'm using glue, I actually have a little bit of time to push it into place where I want it. All right? So if you can see where my gusset is, I have about 1/8 of an inch. A little more than, well, yeah, a little bit more than 1/16 of an inch. Okay. And then I'm going to burnish this on in here. All right. And don't worry about using too much glue. As long as you're putting one page on at a time, you can wipe off that excess glue. Let me grab my second page. And I know I'm weird. I always like to start from the back and work my way to the front. It just helps me see it a little bit better. And I just keep on attaching the pages the same way. Again, leaving enough space that when I fold it over, I have room to fold it over. So about 1/8 to 1/16 of an inch to at least 1/8. Okay. And burnish it in. And just keep going. Can I show you what I'm making? Yes. This is what we're making today. This little chunky mini album right here. And I'm actually not doing this closure. I ended up not really liking that closure that much. So I'm going to do seam binding ribbon. I wanted to be able to allow it to expand, and seam binding ribbon definitely allows you to do that. Okay. Wipe off any excess glue. Burnish that in. And then keep on moving on. I'm just going to keep adding my glue. Slide it on up. Oops, I really went crazy on the glue this time. Burnish it in. And make sure I wipe off any excess glue. Okay, and then my final one. Let me go ahead and slide it on. Leave a little space there, and then burnish it in. Okay, so now we've got this pretty much put together, guys. It's going along really smoothly. Okay, so now we have all our pages in. And we're going to go back to our front and our back. Let me grab some seam binding ribbon. And I like to make mine kind of extra long. I'm going to do about 12 inches. So I need 2 of those. And I'm going to put these on before I put my cover pages, my pattern paper. And I'm going to grab some tape, and I'm just going to put it in the center here. And I like to use a little bit of glue too. All right. And I just guesstimate where my center is. Let me add a little more glue. And then I'm going to do the same on my opposite side. Burnish that in. And again, add my glue. And just kind of line it up. Make sure that it's just directly across from your other piece. And then I'm going to let that dry for a moment and give you some more measurements. Actually, I'm going to trim just a smidge off there. Okay, for my mini album covers, all right, you're going to need 4 sheets of paper that are going to, I know I said 2, but I mean 4 because you're going to need your inside and out. 4 at 4 5/8 by 4 5/8, all right? And then you'll need 1 at 3 1/8 by 4 5/8. And then one more thing on the pattern paper, you're going to need 6 little pieces. This is if you want to cover your gussets. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. 1/4 inch by 3 7/8. So I'm actually going to go ahead and add those now before I forget. All right, and let this dry while I'm doing that. All right, make sure I have these all in the right direction. I just don't like having naked gussets. Oops, that was upside down. Might help if I do it in the right direction. And just center that, burnish it in, and move along. Hopefully I'm not missing anything here. Oops, why do I keep doing this upside down, guys? This is some Wednesday. And all day I've been thinking it's Thursday. I don't know why. Hopefully I'm not missing any questions. Oh, and I did do it upside down again. What the heck? This is why you use glue, guys. There we go. Just keep moving along. Again, I did again. What is my problem? I think it's kind of hard to tell when they're so skinny. There we go. 2 more. Okay. Oops, you know I almost did it again. My gosh. Can I get a grip today, guys? All right, there we go. So now we have that done. Let's go back to the cover. All right. And we're going to add on our little pieces here. And I'm just going to center these on here. Oops. I always love glue. There we go. And burnish it in. Okay. And then our center. And burnish that in. Wipe off excess glue. And then, oh goodness, thank goodness I put those upside up. Oh my goodness. I think I need some sugar, guys. Or caffeine, something. And then our final little piece on the outside. Oops. And burnish that in. Okay, now we can just tie our little mini album up for the time being because we're going to start working on our cover. Okay. Now you can use any kind of circle dies you want. All right. Some of my favorite are the ones with the stitches, but what I'm going to make is the little porthole that I made right here. Okay. And you could, if you have a Cricut, you could go ahead and cut it out on a Cricut or a Silhouette or whatever cutting machine you have. Or if you're old school like me and have die cuts, you can, use that. And what I usually do is I grab a large one, I skip the next size, and then I go to the next one. That way I have plenty of room for my eyelets around my porthole, okay? Normally in any other circumstance, I probably would not use 3N, if that makes any sense. And I always use cheap washi tape to keep it together when I'm running it through my die cut machine. I'm sorry, I've got glue all over my hands. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove this little piece here. All right, and I did make an extra piece with my large die cut. And this is what I was talking about with the Nuvo drops. I went ahead and made little droplets right on top of the bubbles to make it look like the whale was, was shooting off little bubbles. I thought that was kind of cute. So this is going to be my center design here. This is just solid colored cardstock, all right? The best thing to figure out where your middle is, because you're going to want to do that, is take your extra little piece right here and and fold it into 4s, okay? So I'm going to fold it in half. I'm just going to line it up. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Fold it in half and line it up with my other score line directly underneath each other. All right. So now I know where my centers are going to be for this. And I can grab I'm just going to line this up here. All right, so now I know these are my lines right here at the 6-inch. Actually, hold on. I'm going to put it at the 6 and the 6. All right. And there. I know you're thinking I'm crazy right now, but I'm not. Maybe a little. All right, and then I'm going to place this little piece back on top here. All right. And then, since I only have a pen on my hand, I'm going to go ahead and make a mark in the center of my circle, right there, on all my little 4 sides, okay? And then I'm going to twist this, and this will give me my other 4 sides. See, I lined it right up here with this little diagonal right here. All right, so now I'm going to make a mark with my circle right there. It's right there and here. This is what these mats are for. Lots of fun. Okay, now I can get rid of that piece, and I'm going to get out my We Are Memory Keepers punch again. And since I have small eyelets, I'm just going to go ahead and punch all the holes on my little dots that I made. Okay. I probably should have used a white piece of chalk because this is hard to see. Just being honest. And if you think you're off on your center right here, just, try to line it up with the last hole you just made if that's a problem. Okay. And just keep going. Oops. One more. Oh my goodness, guys, I didn't realize we were already so late here. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to work a little quickly. Oh, and I wanted to show you real quick. This is one of the stamps that I colored in with some watercolor markers. And I just thought it would be really cute to use the octopus and say, need a hug. Thought that was kind of cute. I just wanted to show you how they looked when they're actually made. Super adorable. Hi, Linda. Okay, sorry. And then I can just go ahead and add in my little eyelets. And then what you're going to do is once you get all of these on, you're going to take your small little pieces of foam dots, you know, whether they be circle or square, and just use that to pop it up. Thank you guys for sticking in with me on this one. This is a longer project than I thought it was going to take today. Oops, come on. I did it the wrong way, that's why. Okay, there we go. Keep on ticking. And I'll actually finish the decorations on the YouTube so that we're not here all day. But at least I've given you the main tutorial for this, which is really awesome to be able to finish that today. And I'm just going to grab out my little foam dots. And on the back side, just yeah, I kind of mangled some of these, didn't I? I've never been that good at eyelets, but I try my best. Okay. And 2, 3, and 4. There we go. Okay. We're almost there, guys. Okay, so with my little circle here, you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to undo this real quick. I really want to be able to see this better. So I'm going to open it up and figure out where I want my little whale guy to be. And I'm just going to glue this one down because I've popped up the porthole. And you could literally turn this into a shaker by using some acrylic. I'm not going to do that this time. I'm just going to make sure it's centered. And I'm going to burnish this in away from my little little dots I've already put on here. Okay. Oops, wipe off any excess glue. And then now, with some glue, this is so I can move it if I need to, all right? You don't have to do this, but I like to move it into place if I have to. And I'm just going to line this up here. And that is that. So now I have my little porthole. I'm going to grab my little stickers here. And I think I'm going to pop up my little, well, where's my other little fish? Oh, he's too big. I guess we'll use this one. There's my foam dots. So I'm just going to do it on the front here because I've already got this popped up already. And I'm going to put my little fish on there. And let's see, should we do, maybe we should do the angelfish, or no, the sea turtle. I like the sea turtle because he's going in the away direction. I'm going to put that down there. Thank you, Debbie. And let me move him down just a smidge. Don't want him going off the paper. And I think I'm going to use this little fishtails tag and put that down there. And this time I think I'm going to put my little making waves in the center there. And use the little splash pieces. Let me see if I can find another one. Is this paper not the cutest? I mean, they really did a lot with the detail with doing these little splashes and everything. I think that's so adorable. And then for my back, I think I'm going to use a crazy little shark. And then I'm going to finish the rest for the YouTube video. But thank you guys so much for sticking out with me for an hour and a half. You guys are awesome. I need to talk to Jody and see if I can get him to do a giveaway today because y'all really hung in there with me. And don't worry, the PDF will be ready for you all as well. Thank you so much for stopping in, and I hope you all have a wonderful and fabulous Easter weekend for all of you who celebrate Easter. And if you don't, I hope you'll have a wonderful weekend, guys. Bye, y'all.